You carry the weight of the world on your shoulders, don't you? You think you need to be strong, unshakable, to solve everything on your own. After all, that's what you were told, maybe what you learned. This idea that asking for help is a sign of weakness, of inability, is one of the cruelest lies we are told, and it is also one of the most effective tools the narcissist uses against you. To society, and especially for anyone who has been in a toxic relationship, strength is often romanticized as the ability to endure everything, to silently withstand the unbearable. But I'm going to tell you a truth that might turn your world upside down. True strength is not about carrying a burden alone until you collapse. True strength is in recognizing your limits, in understanding that exhaustion is not a character flaw, and in having the courage to reach out and say, I need help. If you're here, chances are you've already felt this pressure. Maybe you are exhausted, confused, or just looking for validation that what you feel is real. And it is real. The mental, emotional, and physical exhaustion caused by relationships with narcissistic people is devastating, and it is calculated. In this video, we are going to unveil why asking for help is not weakness, but rather the most powerful act of self-care and resistance you can have. We will decode the signs that you can no longer wait and how the narcissist benefits from your isolation. Get ready to free yourself from a limiting belief that is holding you captive, because you are not weak. You are a survivor, and now it is time to be a strategist. My name is Lauren Mitchell, and my purpose with this channel is to show you that the problem was never you. If this video touches your heart, I invite you to check the link in the description of this video, where you will find an ebook created with great care to help you reframe what you have lived through, strengthen your self-esteem, and recover the self that was stolen from you. Let's start with an inconvenient truth. Society, in many ways, encourages extreme self-sufficiency, especially for women. Be independent. Don't need anyone. You can do everything yourself. While these are important values, the line between healthy independence and dangerous isolation is thin, especially when dealing with a narcissist. The narcissist takes advantage of this "I can handle it" culture. They thrive on your silence, on your reluctance to expose what is really happening behind the scenes of the relationship. When you try to deal with everything internally, without sharing the burden, without seeking an outside perspective, you become an easier target. Why? Because there are no witnesses. There is no one to validate your reality, to point out the manipulation, to offer a mirror that reflects the truth. Think about it. Abuse thrives in the dark. Silence is the abuser's oxygen, and your heroic attempt to handle everything unintentionally becomes a cloak of invisibility for the toxic behavior that is consuming you. You become your own island, but an island that is slowly sinking, and the narcissist is there, watching the shipwreck and often accelerating it. The price of this forced self-sufficiency is extremely high. It manifests as insomnia, anxiety, depression, unexplainable physical health issues. You start to question your own sanity, your memory, your perception of reality. The flame that was once inside you is slowly extinguished, replaced by chronic exhaustion and a sense of hopelessness. It is a burnout that goes beyond the physical. It is existential. And it is at this point that the question, when should I ask for help, becomes not an option, but an urgent necessity for your survival. Now, let's dive into the nefarious tactic the narcissist uses to ensure you don't ask for help: the strategy of isolation. It is not a coincidence that you feel alone. It is a plan. The narcissist knows that if you have a solid support network, friends, family, mental health professionals, the chances of you exposing them or managing to leave the cycle of abuse increase exponentially. Therefore, they invest heavily in isolating you. How does this happen? First, through the devaluation of your outside relationships. Friends are annoying, family is meddling, therapists are crazy or manipulators. They plant seeds of distrust toward anyone who might offer a different perspective than the one they want you to have. They may even make up lies about these people to you, or about you to these people, creating friction and distance. Secondly, they demand your attention and time almost exclusively. Any energy you direct outside of the relationship is seen as a threat. Invitations to go out with friends are met with resentment, tantrums, or emergencies that prevent you from going. The goal is for the narcissist to be your only source of information, validation, and love, no matter how distorted it is. Thirdly, they shame and blame you. If you try to share anything about the relationship with someone, they make you feel guilty for exposing your intimacy, for talking bad about them. They twist the truth in such a way that you feel like you are the one in the wrong for wanting to vent. This shame is a padlock on your mouth, ensuring the secret remains hidden. The result is that you find yourself in a bubble, where the only permitted reality is the narcissist's. Your worldview narrows, and you start to doubt your own perception more and more. This is the perfect trap for abuse. When you are isolated, the voice of reason weakens, and the manipulative voice of the narcissist becomes the only one you hear. It is precisely at this moment of greatest vulnerability that outside help becomes not just beneficial, but absolutely vital. The isolation and continuous abuse lead to a silent collapse. It's like a building that gives way little by little, without anyone outside noticing, until the entire structure begins to crumble. This collapse manifests in various ways, and recognizing these signs in yourself is the first step to knowing that the time to ask for help is not an option, but a necessity. One of the most evident signs is chronic exhaustion. It's not just tiredness from a day. It is a fatigue that does not improve with rest, that reaches your bones, your mind. You feel like you are dragging yourself, without energy for the most basic things, and the idea of making any decision feels like an insurmountable burden. Along with this comes mental confusion and brain fog. You forget things, lose your train of thought, have difficulty concentrating. It's the famous gaslighting taking its toll, making you doubt your own memory and perception. You feel stupid or distracted, when in reality your mind is overwhelmed and traumatized. The loss of interest in activities you once loved is another screaming sign. Your hobbies, your passions, what once brought you joy, now seem meaningless, or simply require energy you don't have. Life loses its color. Unexplained physical symptoms are an alarm that your body is screaming for help. Constant headaches, digestive problems, muscle tension, a weakened immune system resulting in frequent illnesses. Your body is somatizing the stress and emotional trauma. Finally, and perhaps the most insidious, is the erosion of your self-esteem and self-confidence. You feel inadequate, useless, ugly, incapable. The narcissist's critical voice is internalized, and you start to believe the lies they tell you about who you are. This is the point where you begin to think you don't deserve any better, or that you are to blame for everything that happens. If you are experiencing one or more of these signs, do not ignore them. Don't try to be strong for a little longer. Your body and mind are giving you clear warnings that you have reached your limit. It is not a question of weakness, but of survival. It is the moment to recognize that you were not made to endure everything alone, and there is no shame in seeking support. Recognizing that the time to ask for help has come is the greatest act of strength and courage you can have. It is a gigantic step toward your recovery and the reclaiming of control over your life. But how do you do this? And what does asking for help mean? First, understand that, asking for help is not transferring your problem to someone else. It is seeking tools, perspectives, and support that empower you to solve the problem. It is admitting that you deserve support, that you are not receiving within the toxic dynamic. Who should you ask for help? The best option is a therapist specialized in trauma and narcissistic abuse. This professional will not only validate your experience, something you rarely received, but will also provide you with the tools to process the trauma, understand the dynamics of the abuse, and rebuild your life. They are a lighthouse in the fog. If therapy is not immediately accessible, start with trusted people in your support network. It can be a close friend, a family member you truly confide in, a religious leader, or even a support group for abuse survivors. The important thing is to break the isolation. Sharing your story, even in pieces, is the first step to validating your reality and feeling less alone. Start small, if necessary. You don't have to pour everything out all at once. Say, "I'm not doing well. I need to talk." Or, "I'm going through a difficult time and I need a different perspective." Just the act of externalizing already relieves the weight. Remember, the narcissist wants you isolated, exhausted, and doubting yourself. Asking for help is your most powerful way to challenge that narrative and free yourself from the chains that bind you. It is a revolutionary act of self-love. You are not weak for needing support. You are human, and true strength, the kind that will lead you to freedom, lies in your ability to recognize that it is time to stop fighting alone and allow the light to come in. Your recovery begins the moment you reach out, and you deserve every bit of it. If this video touched your heart, take a look at the description of this video, where you will find a link to an ebook created with great care to help you reframe what you have lived through, strengthen your self-esteem, and recover the self that was stolen from you. Remember, you are light. Never forget to shine.